Hey, I'm Brandon with RevZilla, and today on Ride Tested, I am out here on the trails with my buddy Pat, and still breaking in the old 250 XCF, but I thought it'd be a great opportunity to talk to you about some new boots that I've been utilizing. Well, new, they've been around for quite some time, but yeah, I really like them a lot. It's the Leatt GPX 5.5 FlexLock boots. Really digging these lately, so let's hop on the bike and find out why. How's it going, guys? Out here on the trails, riding in some rocky stuff today at a buddy of mine's private land. But we're here to talk about the Leatt FlexLock boots. My buddy Pat and I have been testing these boots for about a year and a half now, off and on. I like being able to test these against something like the Tech 7s, which I've actually owned for years now. And I think the Tech 7s have been that really awesome middleweight that haven't really had a lot of competition. And these are definitely giving them a run for their money, that is for sure. One of the biggest things I noticed right away was the ankle. It feels so secure, much more so compared to the Tech 7s. You know, I've tested CD boots or tried to, they just never quite fit me right, but I always loved how secure the ankle felt. And I think the Leatt 5.5s kind of have that extra level of securedness around the ankle, at least for me they do, but I've still got a good amount of flexibility as well because I don't want them to be stiff as a board like some MX boots out there. Obviously protection's great, but I want a little bit of tactile feel, a little bit of movement. So they've got their Leatt FlexLock system. The torsional lateral protection is here, and then you've got the protection with hyperextension, and they're really solid, especially considering this particular price point. Now, one thing I will say is that the soles got beat up fairly quick. I mean, we've been using these off and on for about a year and a half or so now. We did beat the sole up pretty good. It's already got a bit of a tear in it. But that's another thing I wanted to mention. The sole is replaceable. I think it's about 70 bucks. I'd like to do it myself to perform that and just see, is it a headache? Is it easy to do? I've never really done it personally, but 70 bucks for a replaceable sole, I don't know. I might as well just look into another boot at that point, maybe. But you do have replaceable parts. Things are wearing out. I like the metal arrow clasp. They're very strong, very stout. Now towards the top of the boots, if you're familiar with boots, you know, you've got the large buckles on the side stuff. These actually have this like pivoting or flex Velcro, if you will, that makes the boots, it kind of pulls it in to be more secure once you buckle them. And I was like, it sounds a little gimmicky. I don't know about that. But as soon as I used it, you know, it does work and it doesn't, you know, wear out over time or loosen up over time. So it is like an extra level of snugness, if you will, that you can get. And it's pretty easy to accomplish that. Let's get into some of the questions. One of the most common questions that came up was, you know, how do these compare to a pair of Tech 7s? That's a great question because that's obviously, I think, where they were aiming these bad boys. I don't know, they're right there. It's tough. I like the extra security that I'm feeling around the ankle. But I think the Tech 7s have a slight advantage in the weight as well. I think the Tech 7s are a little bit lighter, which it's not dramatically lighter, but it is something worth mentioning because anyone out there who's doing some longer days of trail riding, those hip flexors can get worn out pretty quick. I discovered that pretty quickly when I started using the Tech 10s after I broke my leg. Because in the woods, you're riding for, you know, hours at a time versus on the motocross track, you do your 17, 20-minute sessions and then you come back in. So the weight, that is one thing. Other people were asking, you know, are these comparable to an SG12, the CD Crossfires, all that stuff? They're really not. If you know anything about those boots, there's a little bit more stout in comparison to these, for sure. But for the price of these, definitely a really excellent contender. Gonna give Leatt the old stamp of approval for these bad boys. Oh, this trail is so fun. Whether you're doing MX or more kind of enduro trail riding like myself, I've been super, super happy with this performance with these guys for sure. But of course, if you have any additional questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. There's a lot more trail I got to get to riding out here. And of course, we do have the detailed product breakdown for these bad boys, so make sure you check that out. But as always, guys, hopefully you're out there getting some riding in. Keep it pinned. Woo!